Okay, here we are in the grand finals of the Alpha Navigators Cup number 26. And this is going to be between msrm in the Blue Infernal here and his Vanguard opponent, Scan, in the Red Vanguard. These two already met up in the Winners Bracket Finals, and msrm was able to win that, but Scan fought his way back through the Losers Bracket Finals. We just saw that against JXP, and then a very good Vanguard versus Vanguard that went all 3 games. And that's earned him a place here to come back and try and defeat msrm in the grand final. So hopefully he will take a couple maps off here and force this into a series. So far, his pup getting a really good scout out, but not really being that annoying yet. Getting a little bit of damage on the Hexen, so I guess that's a little bit annoying. And we see that msrm has opened Shrine first again into Conclave, while we have Iraq's back home for Scan instead of a command post opening. My bad. Again, just a little bit of back and forth here. Now, one thing that's maybe worth mentioning is this is Scan's first trip to the Alpha Navigator Cup Grand Finals. This is the 8th week, maybe 9th week, maybe, that we've played the weeklies. Next week being the end of this season, but with his performance today, he has definitely earned a position in the season 2 finals next week. That's going to be super exciting. And msrm, this is not his first trip to the finals. He won the last weekly, which was 2 weeks ago because last week's was canceled. And I think he may have been in the finals before against Snockstar as well. So I think he's won some finals and lost some finals here in the Alpha Navigators Cup. And he's already earned his position next week. And it's just about getting better seed now. If he wins here today, he's going to have more points. Might even move into a first place position. I haven't looked at the score here today. But to my understanding, we have, I think, Theory maybe in the lead, having won twice. Snockstar's also won twice, I think, maybe. And Yoru as well. So there's lots of Infernals at the top of the ranking so far. Ooh, one of those Shadow Massives got a good splash damage on those Gaunts, but I guess it's if you only get hit by one, it's not as bad as if you get hit by all 5. Kind of chaotic creeping, and we see that Scan is kind of lured these Shadow Massives back to his side of the map. And actually, wow, he's lured them all the way back to his own speed camp so that they can come and join in the creeping over here. So that was, I guess, a pretty good play to snag a few of those creeps. And also, it was just being annoying to msrm, who was trying to creep them from the high ground there. Scan's puppy dog steals the speed camp, so now Scan has 2 speed camps, and he's coming in with the 5. This is that 5 Lancer push. Boom! Shreds some fiends. That's the threat of the push. Now he's sending his dog to try and steal the health camp. And the Lancers are right in the base. This is not good. There are imps that are... Oh, good splits. This is the opposite of what I do. I just run my imps in one long line, and then the Lancers just get on top of them and mow them down. They say, thank you for lining up for me. But msrm knows better. He splits his units. Now, these Lancers are on top of the Therium line. Again, trying to split the unit. Ooh, and then with a clutch Weaver, getting a lash down on one of these. Now, Lancers get bonus damage versus light, and Weavers are light, even though they kind of look big and heavy. That Weaver goes down. So even though it was kind of clutch, he didn't even get a kill on the Lancer that he was hoping to get. A Manifest Shroudstone does get the kill on the Lancer, but still more imps going down. And that Shroudstone spending the charge in the Animus. There's no defense here on the high ground. We have another Weaver popping out, and he's going to try and focus fire down. Why was he not stomping? That must have been a bug out. His auto attack didn't trigger there for some reason. And now these Lancers are again trying to focus fire down. They're trying to get some good attacks where their line attack can get splash damage on some of these imps or on the Hexen. But it is the Weaver they really want to take out, because the Weaver still does a pretty hefty damage. Ooh, the Weaver goes down. Some more Gaunts pop out. That's 2 Weavers down. That's already a lot of good damage here for Scan. And now these are level 3 promoted units, or veterancy units, and now it's just imps turning to fight. I'm sorry, but imps are not going to be able to DPS down. They get one of them, but these other 2 Lancers, they're just trying to get as much damage as they can before they go down. Often you'll see Vanguard players trying to run these weak Lancers out, but he's just saying, let me get every single piece of damage I can out of these. And let's see, we have 6 workers. We have 9 imps for MSRM. 9 imps. This is not going to be a easy comeback for MSRM. Notice how he's pulled his imps all off Theron because he can't afford it right now. He needs the imps to be mining Luminite, but he can continue to pump out imps. Imp. He wants as many imps as possible so he can get his eco back up. Why does this say 4? Oh, they were stopped for some reason. That was probably just a mismicro, and they were only stopped for a second, so he did notice that. Now, I do stuff like that, and then I'll be... What do we got here? We got a dropship with, what, a single Gaunt and a single Brute? That's not going to do anything. We have more Lancers out here. They want to take out this supply. That is, okay, not quite going to supply block MSRM. And now they say, well, why don't I take out your vault too? And they're definitely not being deterred by the Harbinger overhead. Second summon Shroudstone comes down. So this natural is pretty well defended. Wait a second, what's going on up here? There's a Hornet in the main. I didn't see the Hornet. I thought that was a dog I saw on the minimap. No, it is a Hornet trying to take out these Gaunts. The Gaunts are content to try and micro and focus fire back. And, oh, it's already at 3rd level, and it does get taken out. Is that a Shadow Flower? I wasn't even sure what got it there. Okay, finally. Oh, this is not the kind of Gaunt drop that MSRM is normally trying to do. He's got 3 Gaunts, 2 Fiends, and a Brute here. And there's already a Flat Cannon. This poor Harbinger, boom, takes a couple shots, loses 2/3 of its white health, trying to find a way in here. Sees there is already a 3rd base and a Flat Cannon there. This is not good news. Oh my goodness. Okay, he's teleporting away. I'm like, why did he stop there? He decided to teleport back home, and he puts down. Everyone's gonna soak up in that shroud, get that shroud skin back up. And it's still just a bunch of Lancers. Okay, here we go. Here comes some Exos to join them. But the Lancers have been doing such good damage so far in this game number 1. That, yeah, why change if it's been working so well? Taking out the speed camp, and I think we're going to see another push coming here very quickly. MSRM still having to creep from the high ground here because he's just so far behind that he can't take these units on toe-to-toe. But with that the lumberjacking in the back there, the Shadow Mastiffs now can find their way to the high ground much easier. They realize this path is open now. And here we go. Okay, so they're finally going to toe-to-toe them. And actually having a full Harbinger's worth of Gaunts here, but I just don't think there's going to be effective damage done from the drops, at least not this game. And Scan, it looks like, is just going to do some creeping here while he builds up his army. Like I said, I do think we're going to see another push come pretty quick here, because he does have the advantage. He's got about 30 supply up, almost 40 supply up. And yeah, see, we just see all these Exos rallying here. Once he adds this to his Bio Ball and decides, okay, it's time. I think we're going to see a pretty strong push. Now, the question is he going to add some med techs to this? Or is he going to push out before he gets some med techs on the field? We see another scrapyard going down here. So just lots of racks, lots of racks. We have the single Hornet out. And now, oh, we do have a Magmadon added, and msrm is starting to stabilize a little bit, but I don't know if he can take this army just yet. Another mag popping out, and he's got his third base up as well. But still, like 40, 45 supply behind. It looks like Scan is just getting more ahead, which is what you're supposed to do when you're ahead. Just get more ahead. His little Hornet here infested, just trying to heal up, or trying to, sorry, to end the damage over time from the infest. Oh, and a hold position Lancer there gets chased away by this dropship, but comes back. He's brave. And there's just a little bit of cat and mouse here. Another here we go. Here comes the units. The Exos say, okay, buzz off. This is my vision tower. And unfortunately, msrm has to retreat. Now again, msrm seems to have stabilized, but is just a little behind. Actually, catching up a wee bit, down to back to a 30 supply deficit. And now here it is. It's not medtechs that are going to be added, it is Vulcans. We got 3 Vulcans out. I didn't see those mech base, but there they are. At least there's 2 of them. And a 5th base going down. 4th base is already mining. And yeah, Scan definitely has the eco advantage here and the supply advantage, even though it is starting to get dwarf, or it's starting, the advantage is starting to get smaller. 25 supply lead now. And it looks like there's going to be some harass here coming out of msrm, so he does find the solar habitat and gets his fiends on it, and they are doing some pretty good DPS to it. It's probably going to go down. And now what are they going to do? They're going to... Oh, so we do see some Lancers showing up. And the flak cannon is now getting some shots off. We got a trample from the Magmadon. And here we are with 2 dropships coming in the back with the Magmadon drop with huge stomps, huge tramples on top of these Exos. So many of them going down. They're going to try and focus fire down these Gaunts, but wow, look at all those weak Exos managing to stay alive there. This is actually really good. I thought that could be it, but no, that's a GG from msrm. Alright, here we are, back at it in game number 2 of this best of 5 matchup. We have msrm here in the Blue Infernal, and he's facing off against Scan in the Red Vanguard. And Scan managing to get that advantage in that last game with some Lancer pressure. And we will see if msrm is ready for it this time. Ready to deflect it. Or if it will take him down again. Or who knows, maybe we will see Scan go with a slightly different strat. But if I had just won a game, I think I might try it again. We see Iraq's going down for Scan, even though it was Shrine first here for msrm. And that does work into Scan's advantage if he is going to do that Lancer play again. It means that the units for msrm are going to be a little bit more delayed, a little bit later out on the map, and that means that when those Lancers get here, there will just be less to deal with it. And also what we notice here, he's not been building a wall. So one of the ways to deal with the Lancer pressure is a wall, and actually this map is a pretty crappy map for it. Which is, there's a ramp here, you could wall it, but there's this back ramp, oh no, you can get up there too. So you kind of have to do a double wall. And then even if you double walled, well, you've got these backdoor trees that can be chopped down too. So Lost Hope, many players don't like it because of all those options. I kind of happen to like it because of all those options. So it depends what kind of player you are. If you are the one who's like, well, hey, I'll knock down your trees and come in your back door, then you might actually like this map. I do think it's one of the more unique and interesting map with all that Therium out in the middle of the map there. It's certainly interesting. I don't know if it's the games have played out necessarily the way that the map designer might have thought they would with all the Therium in the middle of the map there. Some games you kind of see conflict over that, but I do think that for players that are looking for more Therium, often a hidden base in one of the mains that has not been, you know, that you didn't spawn in is more common. At least that's how I play on this map. Now maybe we'll see that if we get to a long macro game. But at the moment we're just doing their creeping. We see that Scan is staying on one base and he's added his 3 Lancers to the dog, and here comes number 4 it looks like. And Biokinetics Lab, he's just waiting, so we'll keep our eye on that as the kinetic redirect gets finished. And now he's moving across the map again. This is something that I think is fairly common for this Lancer push, which is you take the speed camps so that your Lancers are even faster compared to the infernal units, and that allows you to get away, especially if you've got that kinetic redirect going on, or you can run past the units into the main, get on top of those imps, get that damage, and then get out of there. Now we do see some fiends coming here from MSRM, and where are they going? It looks like they split off. So one's going to capture the health camp, it looks like. The other 2 are just trying to be annoying, but the Lancers are already here. And boom, 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 boom. Promote, promote, promote. We see 5 promotes going down. And oh no, I think MSRM was a little late to notice his units here, and they were already on top of the Hexen. The Hexen goes down, and now there's some Gaunts trying to get into the mid. Oh, but the Magmadon, this is clutch Magmadon timing. Trample out already. And last game he went for Weavers to try and deflect this, but this time the Magmadon is out immediately. And this is what I was talking about, those Lancers with those speedy little legs. With 2 speed camps, they just run away from the Magmadon. Get out here. Great splits from MSRM again to keep his imps alive. But 3 of his Lancers, this is really good for Scan as well. He's splitting his Lancers and getting them to chase down different imps, and a lot of imps going down to that harass there. Where are you going, buddy? Oh no, he's brave. He's a hero, but no. He's just up here saying, like, I'm going to tank this army while you can go down there and get all the damage done that you need to get done. We have a Manifest Shroudstone there, but bye-bye imps. This is what Scan was hoping for. And this is just devastating for MSRM. All those imps going down, and one Lancer running away to tell the tale to his buddies. Yes, I went down there. Yes, I murdered a bunch of imps. And wow, okay, so how are we doing here? We are 9 imps here with 3 imps here. So last time after the harass, he had 9 imps. Now he has 12. So maybe that's a little bit better, a wee bit better. But here comes Scan again with another Lancer force. Oh no, the drop's going out, trying to get some counter damage done. Depending on the timing here. Oh, does he see it? The Harbinger has not turned around. And the Lancers are right on top of the imps again. The Harbinger has not turned around. The Harbinger is going to try to get some damage done. Ooh, a little bit of leg spike there. My apologies. These Lancers trying to chase down. Meanwhile, here comes the Magmadon and Gaunts into the main here, trying to do some kind of counter harass. But where did the imps go? Okay, so some imps did manage to get away. These Lancers are focusing buildings, which is not what they want to do. That means that Scan is probably microing his units back here to deal with the drop. Got 27 Bobs farming there. Looks like he may have cleaned up the rest of the imps there. What do we got 7 imps here, and that's going to be GG from MSRM in game number 2. All right, here we are in game number 3 of this best of 5 series, with Scan taking the first 2 games and his opponent MSRM here in the Blue Infernal hoping to fight back here on Ruination to force a final match. And it's Scan, as I mentioned here, in the Red Vanguard, who could close it out this game. And so far, just producing Bobs. Bob, Bob, Bob. We got queued up Bobs. Not much to do in the early game if you're a Vanguard. Queue up your Bobs. Sorry for that bug. And send your dog across the map and just trying to be annoying. The Hexen's just chilling at home. She's just trying to soak up that Shroud skin. Maybe defend her imps from that dog harass. And we see, once again, msrm going for Shrine first in this matchup. And nothing yet. Not a Rax, nothing. Here we go. We have some Bobs about to get overcharged. So there's something about that overcharge timing. They wait until the Bobs, and by they I mean Vanguard players, wait till the Bobs get just about at max rage, and then they do it. I think that just makes sure your Bobs stay overcharged for as long as you need them. Remember, overcharge also speeds up their building time. That's the whole idea there. And boom, they're done. Now they're overcharged and they're mining. That doesn't do anything. Overcharged mining doesn't speed you up, as far as I know. And the dog's out, but there are also some Gaunts here, and the Gaunts chase it away. And it looks like they're heading to the speed camp, and the dog's just trying to be annoying. Now the flowers on this map are harder to eat. They're kind of bugged out for some reason. And so that just makes it a little bit harder as a Vanguard player to do your, your typical harass. And it looks like msrm got 2 more Gaunts out and is going to take out the speed camp kind of easily without really having to worry too much about the dog. But now the scout is moving in, probably just for more scouting, but maybe trying to chew on an imp or two. So scout's out, sees, okay, your tier 2 is on the way, but we only have a single conclave here. And we're up to... Wow. Okay, Scan. I wasn't paying attention with what you've been doing here. Scan opened with his command post. We saw that. And he went and got another one. His barracks aren't even done yet. So really trying to get an eco advantage here. Maybe not going to do that Lancer play that we saw before. Maybe still will, just later on. We've seen that in an earlier matchup that he did today, where he went for 2 base Lancers instead of 1 base. Maybe there's a 3 base variant of this. I don't know. And what do we got pumping out? Yeah, we do have Lancers coming out. And on Ruination, you can wall off up at the top of your ramp here, which protects both your bases. So I'm not sure, why msrm has chosen to have this more wide open, especially after losing twice to the Lancer pressure. Maybe he just likes to have a more open base style. It does, a clogged base makes it a little bit harder to defend in the later game because you'll have a lot of your melee units, your brutes, your megs, and maybe your weavers. And it's harder for them to pass through SimCity. So that might be it. We've got our Lancers out. Okay, if we have got 2 Lancers, are kind of hard to see here. 2 Lancers there creeping. 2 on defense, and a ton of Gaunts here moving out. They might just be a creeping force. There's not quite enough here to do early pressure, and I do think that if you're playing Infernal and you're trying to do early pressure in terms of marching across the map, I think Brutes are part of that comp that you want. Whereas we've seen here, yeah, okay, so bloop, 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 that's almost exactly what I was expecting. We saw there was just enough Gaunts there for a drop, and also the tier 2 is on the way. So here we have our Harbinger already out. There's 5 Lancers here creeping the speed camp. But actually this drop could be kind of dangerous. We don't see sentry posts out in any of the expos yet, and msrm goes straight here, finds these Bobs. Good micro, pulls the Bobs, 1 going down, making a fiend, and now they're doing just the hugs in the corner there. And repositioning of the Harbinger to make sure there's Shroud under the Gaunts. And the Lancers are going to come here after a few Bobs go down, maybe 2 or 3. Now there's a sentry post here with a buzzsaw cannon in it. Yeah, that's not looking like something you want to attack into. And on the low ground here, no sentry post yet. Ooh, my bad. And we see the guns come down, maybe focus fire down a couple Bobs, but again, quick response to put the Bobs on repair. And now a sentry post going down. Are they going to focus the post? No, they look for Bobs again. Just trying to get some Bob harass in there, it looks like. So far hasn't lost any Gaunts. Now trying to pick off an Exo, does so. Doesn't lose a Gaunt either. Picks off another Exo and doesn't lose a Gaunt. But now there's a Hornet out on the map. It got a promote put down on it. I'm not sure exactly why. Does it increase damage as well? Oh no. Yes, it does. So just check there. Plus 42 health, plus 10% damage, plus 5% attack speed. Okay, so it does. I know the promote gives you the health, but in that case, the Hornet was not damaged. So I was curious why the promote was used, and I think it was probably just to give it some health. Or sorry, some attack and some more damage. Is this another sentry post? Yes, so trying to stay defensive here. Having had to take some damage from this drop so far. Ooh, another Bob going down, another Bob going down. And here come the Hornets. And the Hornets can kind of be effective. Oh, so many Fiends popped out though. I didn't notice that. They must have got a good number of Bobs killed there. So this drop from MSRM so far has probably done the damage that it needs to. Oh no! Boom! So huge payback from Scan there, taking it out. And ooh, now here comes some Shadow Flyers. Pew! They get one of the Hornets. So Buzzsaw here, Buzzsaw here, Buzzsaw here. We are all Buzzsawed up. So it's unlikely that another drop's going to do that same kind of damage. And it's not clear that that drop did enough damage. Remember, the drop was taken out. But it looks like MSRM ready to do some pressure, picking up 2 Magmadons. We saw this in an earlier game. I think that was game 1, where he dropped some mags on the army. And it just was a little too little. It wasn't quite enough. But maybe this time it will be. He's got a lot of Gaunts here. And it's just bio here. No medtechs added yet. No Vulcans. Vulcans would be very useful here. There's a Buzzsaw turret. But look at those Bobs. The Bobs want to get on top of the sentry post, but they can't because there's huge tramples and stomps. But now we see the Lancers getting on top of these Gaunts in the back line. And they focus fire down one of the Harbingers, and I think it had units in it. Now the Exos are being chased back by these Magmadons here. And that means that the rest of this army is allowed to fight there. Although actually there are still Lancers there. And the Exos who do that bonus damage to the Magmadons want to focus fire them down. Ooh, nice drop on top there. But again, huge micro from Scan to keep his Exos away from these tramples. The Lancers coming back to do some body blocking, and we now see our first Vulcan on the map. This base did take damage, but there's still Bob's mining here. There's still a depot there. It was mostly the sentry post that got taken out. And here the drop's trying to come back to do some damage again. But remember, this wasn't initially a drop. This was initially an army. And all that's left are 2 mags in a dropship. So this is looking like it's that trade worked out well for Scan. Now with that said, the supply is the same on both sides here. We are having a pretty even game so far. We have a high command ready. That's interesting. We'll see whether that means we are going to get another tech switch. We have a hangar bay out, but I don't see any helis on the way, except these mags do stomp down here. Oh, so many bobs go down there. But now these mags, no, you don't want to focus bobs. You want to focus this sentry post, this buzzsaw cannon. It looks like they got the damage they want to do, and they're going to try and get out of there. So actually, paying, starting to pay for themselves, even though he lost that army earlier. He's now got a huge bank. I wonder what that's about. Drops his mags down again getting the trample, but not managing to take out any bobs this time as the units show up to chase them away. And again, huge bank. Both of them banking a little bit, but it's MSRM here that has 2,000 Luminite and 750. Does he have a dragon out? Does he have the tier 3? He's got Spriggies that he's got back home. He's got a little bit of an army here trying to protect a 4th. But his 4th is still just going up. And again, you see this base has been mining for a while for Scan. Remember, Scan was open a little bit more aggressive in the eco sense. Now it's Spriggans, Magmadons, and Gaunts moving out for MSRM, while he's got his Magmadon drop here coming in the back again. So he might try and do 2 here. These are Sprigs that are going to harass from the high ground here, while Mag's dropping down here, and the Mag's getting on top. So many good tramples here. But oh no, the Bob's kind of healing up. And how are the Sprigs doing back here? The Sprigs did take out the flak cannon, and now they're getting lots of Bob damage. Lots of Bobs going down here. Fortunately for Scan, this base is... Well, at least the Bobs here are going down now. Will this army show up in time to chase them away before the command post goes down as well? These are Vulcans. I don't know, but Vulcans do nothing against Spriggans. So this Spriggan tech switch has been really good for MSRM here. He's starting to get a little bit of a supply lead now that he's taken out some of these Bobs. But remember, Bobs are kind of invincible. So even though he can focus down this buzzsaw cannon, take out the Lancer, the Exos are trying to come back and deal with it. But yeah, again, these Spriggans doing a pretty good harass. Ooh, and the Mag drop managed to make its way over here. And what do we see here? We see Scan now finding this army in a taking position, or in a, while it's creeping, trying to get on top of it and do some damage. This army unfortunately has no anti-air, so Spriggans can deal with it no problem, although we do see the Exos starting to come in and try and join this. Ooh, what's this? We also, oh, the Spriggans are in the main, so MSRM's all over the map, whereas Scan is trying to get his force together and maybe just push into the main. I think this is his only option now. A lot of his units are down. This base is down. This base is about to go down. He's on mass repair. And these units are just trying to push into MSRM's base. Ooh, here we go. The Graven switch can be really helpful here. This base is almost completely healed back up. So that's good news. He did take a lot of damage. This Therium patch is done. He is trying to get another scrapyard going here. And meanwhile, his army actually has been just mowing. It's pushed into this base here. And now we got some jump jets to try and get some good stuns, but there's a Hellborn in the back, and there's all these Spriggans above them. The Exos in the back need to focus Spriggans, because if the Spriggans can start getting on top of them and focus the Exos, the Spriggans will just wipe everything else out. Although it does look like at this time the ground army for MSRM has gone down. It's just the Spriggans left, and there are still a lot of Exos and Gravens here, and the Gravens also are going to do bonus damage. So here we do see, okay, Nightfall Infestation, and they're trying to get down on top of the Exos. The Exos do have that tier 3 upgrade, so they have that invincibility matrix or whatever it's called. And now it's just Sprigs. There's one Hellborn in the back trying to rain down some damage. Does not have Molten Touch. No, it does have Molten Touch, it looks like there. Maybe just finished. The Exos, or sorry, rather the Graven try and push forward and get on top. One Sticky Bomb going down on the Hellborn. But the Hellborn doesn't need to move anywhere. He can just fire from way back there. It does reduce his attack speed as well, if I understand correctly. Huge Flame Imp contacts there. But this army has pushed all the way up. It's actually going to have to retreat here as a ton of brutes come pumping out. The Vulcan's still managing to stay alive. Really heroes. Some Gravens going for an infiltrate on this other base. And this force is probably going to get cleaned up right here, but not before they mow down more Gaunts. Jump Jet on top, trying to get the Hellborn. And the Exos trying to do their best, but there is a dragon here now. Flame on Imps trying to deal with stuff, the Graven over here. But the Graven do have a infiltrate. Not enough damage quite yet to take out the Shrine. Some serious eco damage. What's going on over here? We got Lancers fighting farms. We got Vulcans. This base gets taken out, and it looks like Scan is going to try and retreat from here. There's a dragon and 2 Sprigs. Like, wow. After all that, it looks like Scan has come out on ahead in terms of supply. So many of MSRM's bases are gone now, but I mean, Scan lost some bases too. He lost this base, it's back up. This base got knocked down pretty hard, it's back up fully mining. This is a base fully saturated. This is a base fully saturated. Holy moly, Scan, what have you been doing? You're just out there expoing all over across the map. Now, if he can keep hold of these bases and start getting the eco to churn out of it, he's going to have no problem finishing MSRM off. Now, MSRM does have his hero Dragon out here, and Dragons, you know, if there's any unit, single unit that can turn the tides, a Dragon is it. Wow, getting away. Let me get you, Dragon. Where are you at? 5 hit points. Getting away at 5 hit points. That is ridiculous. That's like one shot from an Exo. Crazy. Okay, and no healing on this dragon right now because there are no camps being controlled. No one has any camps. Okay, I lied. There are these Luminite camps that have been taken out. Now, those are maybe not as important as having a health camp right now, especially if you have a dragon that's at 5. Now, this dragon's at 125. You missed that one. He ate a cabbage. He missed that one. He's trying to get over here and do some damage. And the scary thing about this is that as he kills Bobs, 2 fiends pop out of each one, and then, yeah, this is a snowball if I ever seen one. These 4 Bobs cannot out-heal this many fiends. And the dragon can get away. Now, the Vulcan can easily mow down the fiends, but it's the dragon that needs to be taken care of. And he flies away. He got a nanoswarm on him. I don't know if that does anything. Yeah, I don't think that does anything. So that might have been a misclick or something. Because nanoswarm only affects mechanical units, and I was just double checking. I didn't really need to double check. I'm pretty sure all infernal units are biological and there are no mechanical units in the infernal army. That's one of their traits that makes them a bit unique. Whereas I think the Celestials, a lot of them are mechanical. Maybe not all of them. I don't know that one. That would be worth checking. Because part of their lore is they're robot angels. Which I just love. Robots and angels, put those together. Cool. That's cool. Maybe we need some robot demons. Maybe we'll get a tier 3 robot demon. That might be cool. Who knows? And, okay, so MSRM has been able to get these bases back up again. Look at how many imps he's got on his Therium here. It's actually giving him quite a bank here, but I don't think it's necessarily wrong as an Infernal unit. Now, some of those imps turning into Flame On, and just not quite in getting the impacts they want. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, but they're impacting on those Vulcans, and the Vulcans are just so tanky. And now we got mass Nanoswarm going on. Those Vulcans, they're all going to be staying alive, and that is GG out of MSRM. And that is going to be the end of these grand finals. Congratulations to Scan with an amazing comeback from the loser bracket to win these grand finals. Thanks a lot for watching.